All right, this is the Marshall 2210 where the channel changing had way too much bleed. And once I remove this metal cover, there's gonna be some environmental noise, but as you can hear right now, it's all in the background, quiet when the cabinet is shielded. Chassis is shielded, the circuit is shielded. But now there's some noises that'll come and go just from the environment. I think it's the transformers for my lights, actually. It's a new kind of sound that I didn't used to get. But anyway, now, these two red caps are WEMA 0.22 100 volts. There's an axial replacement. I could have done with a radial right here, but they actually had an axial from the factory. I think they had some kind of change in how the traces went. So there's an axial beneath the board. Two new, I think they're 1914s or 1418s, I don't remember. Two little diodes here, two new 1N4007s here. Already changed out all the electrolytics. And a new RCA labeled, hopefully it's a real RCA. What is this chipset? It is a CA3046EX. The original was bad. I bought 5 replacements thinking, okay, that gets me the next 5 of this series of Marshall that come through because it's an obsolete chip. And I socketed it because I'm a nice guy. And it turns out that I was being nice to myself because the first 2 out of 5 were bad. One of them only gave me high gain. The other one only gave me clean. This one seems to be working. And it looks like a relatively old chip. I don't know whether it is an old RCA or whether I've got Chinese knockoffs made to look like old RCAs. They were only like $2 each. So if I got ripped off, it's not much of a rip-off. And it's also possible that these are just 30-year-old chips that were sitting around in a warehouse and some of them have gone bad. But this one seems to be working. So let me pick up a guitar and demonstrate. Now these amps have got a lot of upper mid-range, as you can hear. I've got the treble middle bass all at noon, presence about 10 o'clock. I'm not here to show all the great sounds you can get right now, but just that I'm able to get the clean without the bleed. And most guys from this era, give me some chorus and delay. Pretend that my tremolo bar isn't making noise. I need to tighten that up a little bit in the bushing. But, you can get all the Def Leppard sounds once you get the effects dialed into this clean sound. It's quite nice. And you could reach around here and I guess on the clean you can't really scoop the mids as much as you can on the dirty, but meanwhile, I can also do this. There's that putted I was talking about. And again, that goes away when everything's shielded. So don't worry about that. That popping noise is just part of the circuit. It's working as normal. These are good sounding amps, but the live performance is kind of not optimal for that reason. But most guys in this era who had these just ran them dirty, and they'd have a twin or a JC120 for clean. You got to put your mind in 1986. If you're playing the stages where you really needed 100-watt split channel reverb, odds are you aren't using the split channel or the reverb, you're just using it to be a big loud Marshall. For that reason, this 2210 and other split channel reverbs are not my favorite Marshalls. I really wouldn't recommend seeking them out. The 2203, 2204, and then some of the JCM 900s, I think, are more flexible or better at what the few things that they do. This was trying to capture some offenders market, and I don't think they really got there. Oddly enough, just a couple years after this came out on the market, the Silver Jubilee came out. And the Silver Jubilee changes channels much better than this, much quieter. And it has one of the best sounding Marshall cleans you'll ever find, and has a very characteristic dirty that a lot of guys like. So I kind of think the split channel reverbs of the 800s were not the best, but they're not bad. And this one is now working as well as anyone ever has a right to expect one. So I'm calling this one done.